Hey guys, it's Jen with Card Zen by Jen, and my name is Jennifer Blashak. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for joining me again. Today is not a 5-minute card, but it is well worth it. I am going to be showing you the Silly Old Bear Suite. I have been waiting for years for this. I have been anxiously awaiting for Stampin' Up! To start offering some of the product lines that are copyrighted and that they've had to wait for the license to go. And Silly Old Bear, so the Winnie the Pooh, has now become available, and they are able to offer that. I think there is one market overseas that they are not allowed to offer it yet because it has not expired yet. The license has not expired yet over there. But I am so happy that I can now feature this in my cards and my scrapbooking and my room decor. I absolutely love Winnie the Pooh. I raised my kids on Winnie the Pooh, and I just love it. On the suite itself is $130. It's the Silly Old Bear. It is an online exclusive. You will not see this in a catalog. You will need to just go to my website or the Stampin' Up! Site. You can just go to online, shop online exclusives, and you will see the suite of products. You don't have to buy the entire suite. You can mix and match. But the $130 for the suite, you get a lot of products. So let me just show you real quick what we're going to be using and the product that comes in that suite today. First of all, you have the stamp set, the Sweet Old Friends. I'm hoping I'm not getting a glare on this. The Sweet Old Friends. You have the Pooh and the Piglet. We are using this today. You have the honey pots. We're also going to use that on our inside. But you have Rabbit, and you have Tigger. You have Piglet by himself, Eeyore, Owl, and you've got, of course, the little bees. So this stamp set is absolutely adorable. I do keep my dies on the inside of my stamp sets. I keep them all together, but the dies are all matching. They all cut out these characters. You also get some pieces of wood that you can make signs. You also get the honey design, and then the honey pot and the honey. We're using those two designs today as well. So for today, we are using the honey pot and the honey. And for stamp sets, again, for the stamp out of this, we are using the Pooh and Piglet. So while I'm here, I am just going to pull that right out. I'm going to use the Pooh and Piglet, the bees. I didn't think this out very well, but bear with me. It gets better, I promise. Well, maybe. So, okay. We'll put these aside, and then let me show you the others. You also get a second stamp set with this suite of product. You get the Sweet Words and Labels. It has this beautiful design for framework. Another beautiful design, and I absolutely love these sayings. For today, we are using the best kind of days are the days spent together, and we're using old friends are the best friends. We're making two different cards, same design, but I want to show you how you can make a card with this saying and with this saying all in one. Now, the dies that you can get with this, look at these dies. These are absolutely amazing. I'm telling you right now, long after the Silly Old Bear Suite is retired and gone, I will never get rid of these dies. These are so versatile. I absolutely love them. And I'm going to show you one more thing here in a second that you can do with these dies. But for today, we are using this die right here. And we are using the larger piece right here. So you see how they nest together? They're so cute. So it gives your card such great wow factor, and you really didn't even have to lift a finger. So let's set these aside for just a second, and let's bring in the star of the show, the paper. The paper is amazing. So you have all of these characters, and these characters can be cut out using those dies that you saw on the Sweet Old Friends. Let's go back to these dies for just a second. These dies will cut out these characters. So if you don't want to stamp, you want to make some nice easy cards, you want to do some scrapbooking, those dies cut out all of these characters. You're going to get 2 sheets of these classic characters. The B side of this is this pretty. I don't know if you would just refer to those as clouds. Whatever it is, it's just absolutely gorgeous. The second page, or the second design, is the classic Pooh. There are not dies that cut this out specifically, so what you can do is you can just fussy cut these if you would like to fussy cut these, but they're super cute. And then of course the B side of that is this just checked design. So I can't believe this. This is absolutely beautiful. This gives you a card in and of itself, or a scrapbook page, or decor if you are decorating a baby's room with Winnie the Pooh. These are so cute. All you're going to have to do is just cut these out and use them. Add a couple of your little characters to them, but they're all ready to go. The second side of this is just this. I think this is the hydrangea hue color. I'm not positive about that. But this the characters marching along. It's so cute. All right. So my favorite. Are you ready? This is why I went back and I bought many packets of this paper for this and this alone. Now, remember these dies that we had? These dies will cut out these images. Look how easy that is. Look how easy that is. And then the other dies work with all of the rest of them too. These are beautiful focal points on your cards, on your scrapbooks. Oops, dropped that right on the floor. On your cards and scrapbooks, and really with no extra effort. Just add a sentiment. You get 2 pages of this. The other side of this paper is just a striped pattern, so you can mix and match. And now you see why I bought so many packets of this. And quite honestly, I may buy some more. So the last design that's in that paper is this with the trees and Pooh climbing. On the B side of this, I'm sorry, this isn't the last one, next to the last. I told you, you get so much in this, it's amazing, is the map. Today we are using the map. So you'll want to keep that piece out. And then let me also show you the last one. I kind of like this because it has like a child would spell, owl and Eeyore. It has Rabbit's signature on it and Piglet. It's really cute. It's that classic Winnie the Pooh characters look. And it's just so cute. And then the B side of that has these pretty little stars so that you can use it for something else. And I hate to say that's it because that's a lot, but that's it for showing you the paper. Now, so you get the paper, you get 2 stamp sets, you get 2 dies, and then you also, in that suite of products, get an embossing folder that is a map of the 100 Acre Woods. I have not used this yet, which is why it's still in the packaging. We're not using it today. I can't wait to start using it though. I can't wait to play with it. But we are not using it today, but I did want to show you that it is part of the suite if you wanted to do the suite. Again, you can shop those products separately as well if you don't have a need for all of that. That is totally fine. I am going to adjust my camera ever so slightly. I apologize. I feel like I have a shadow in here and I'm not quite sure why. I swear I haven't changed anything. I am going to load up, I got ink on that. I am going to load up my blocks for the stamps that we are using today. Again, we have that Pooh and Piglet. We're only using 1 ink add today, and that's going to be the early espresso. And I got to see which way these are going. You know what I did not get? We didn't pull out the stamps for the sentiments. So let's bring this back over. Pull out our sentiments. And I want the best kind of days are the days spent together. Load that up. And then old friends are the best friends. And we're going to load that up as well. Voila. Voila. I did a card just like this for my last sip and stamp, and the ladies absolutely loved it. Today's version is going to be a little bit stepped up though. We're going to do just a little bit more than I did on those original cards. So what we're going to need is you're going to need an 8.5 by 5.25. I'm sorry, 5.5. 8.5 by 5.5 scored in the middle. This is going to be your card base. And like I said, I'm going to make you 2 cards today. So I'm going to do 2 of those. I'm not going to cut my paper, and I'm not going to do the die cuts. I'm having a problem with my shoulder, so I'm trying to be very, very careful. And if I yell out in pain, you'll know why. I'm okay. There's no need to call 911 or anything. Everything's okay. But when I move it in certain directions, it does hurt. So the next thing that you are going to need is Golden Glow. Golden Glow is a new 2026 to 2028 in color. It is the perfect Winnie the Pooh color, folks. So you are going to need a piece of Golden Glow. This is 5.25 by 4. 5.25 by 4. And then you're going to need a scrap of this also for that honey. I didn't pull out that one, did I? For the honey. You are going to need another piece of early espresso. This piece is going to be 5.25 by 2.25. And again, because I'm making 2 cards, I have 2 pieces of that. Now, you're also going to need a piece of Mossy Meadow. The Mossy Meadow we are using to cut out these pieces here. So the larger piece, we are cutting out Mossy Meadow. Again, I need 2 pieces. So I have my Mossy Meadow. And we need our Very Vanilla. And our Very Vanilla, we are die cutting the smaller piece. Do you see that stitched design around that? It is absolutely adorable. I love it. That stitched design, it just adds a little bit of extra something. So we have 2 of those ready to go. I also die cut out of Mossy Meadow. Hold these up here so that you can see them. Out of the Mossy Meadow, I die cut the honey pot. It has these little ridges in them so you can almost see through it. And we also die cut the little pieces that are the honey that's going to go at the top, and we'll have to adhere that with some liquid glue. All right, so that is all ready to go. And let's start getting a little inky here, and quite honestly making a mess. We're just going to make a mess, and that's okay. Sometimes you just got to make a mess. So I'm going to sit down here for a second and see if I can do this. We are pulling out our early espresso. And the first thing that I want you to do with your early espresso on your Golden Glow is we are going to do up in the upper right-hand corner, we're doing our bees. Upper right-hand corner. Okay? Now, remember we're doing one design with this saying, old friends are the best friends. My dilemma with this is that this stamp is wider than this stamp. This stamp is taller than this stamp. So we needed a way to make this work. And I was able to do that. So we are going to ink him up. This is the old friends are the best friends. And in the lower right-hand corner, make sure I got this right, the lower right-hand corner, we are going to put him right there. I think I got it slightly crooked, but that's okay. And then our bigger saying, the best kind of days are the days spent together. Let's ink that one up too. Again, lower right-hand corner. And then both of those are done. We can set those aside. They are finished. We are going to, on our very vanilla piece, we are going to do Pooh and Piglet. And for this card, I need Pooh and Piglet to go landscape. For this card, I need Pooh and Piglet to go portrait, if you're following me, okay? So again, let's just grab some ink, Pooh and Piglet, and right there in the center. Perfect. All right, and then the other one, oops, I'm sorry, that's making such a noise. Let's make sure I've got this. I'm trying not to get my head in here. There we go. All right, so now the other thing that I want to do is you need to ground him somehow. So I'm using light and dark crumb cake Stampin' Blends. And what I want to do is I want to just go right underneath his feet with the dark. I'm creating a shadow. You see it? You see that shadow? Makes all the difference when you're putting your cards together. It no longer appears as though Pooh and Piglet are floating. And then I'm going to use the light crumb cake and I'm going to go right back down through and I'm just going to create, because they're walking on a path, right? So we're just going to create some shadow. Just going to create some shadow. This is one of the best things that I ever learned when doing card making, is how to create this shadow. Perfect, right? All right, and all it took was just a couple of seconds with my light and dark crumb cake. Now the other thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some light balmy blue. Again, this is a Stampin' Blend. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around the very top of them. Let's see, my dog is hearing somebody outside. And again, we're just going, don't overthink it. Just gonna go right around, maybe right down to his side. And surround him with just a little bit of blue so you see the sky. And again, this is just simply grounding your image so that it doesn't appear like he's just floating in space. And just those little subtle pieces just, I mean, it just makes a huge difference, doesn't it? So let's get out our glue. We're gonna start putting some things together here. So I'm gonna get out my liquid glue. I'm gonna bring back in this piece of Mossy Meadow that we die cut. And we are going to just center that and glue that down. And we're gonna bring in the other piece that we had. Again, we're gonna just center that, glue it down. While I have my glue out, let's just go ahead and add a little bit of liquid glue. If I can pick this up. Trying not to get making a mess here. There we go. Just gonna add just a little bit of liquid glue. You can use tweezers to do this if you need to. I would have been smart, I would have die cut this with my adhesive backing on it because it's such a small piece. And that would have allowed me just to take off the adhesive backing and stick that right down. I didn't think that far in the future. So liquid glue it is. All right, so we have our pieces and you can now see how this is gonna start to come together, right? Oops, wrong way, wrong way. You can see how this is gonna start to come together, right? I need a little bit more. So let's take these pieces. Again, these were 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. And you're gonna grab your scissors. Any scissors will do. But what I wanna do is I wanna rough this up. I wanna grunge it a little bit. I just want to rough up the edges. We're gonna make a mess. It's okay. Brush it on the floor. Vacuum it up later. It's all right. This is what we do, right? And I'm just using my scissors to rough up the edge of this piece. All 4 sides. It doesn't take long. But again, it gives your card just a different look. Go in one direction. Do not go in both directions. You're just gonna go in one direction for this. Do you see how that has changed? And how that has changed the look of that? Let's get rid of the fuzzies. We don't need those in our cards. I'm gonna bring in the other one. We're gonna do the same thing. I probably shouldn't have done that with my ink open, but there we go. Do you ever feel like some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield? And I'll tell you, this past week, I have felt like both. So, things don't have to be perfect, but we're still creative. And that seems to get us through. All right. Again, this is such an easy technique to do. Just rough up your paper. Voila. And now it looks like it's a piece of old ripped paper. I'm going to get rid of that. Again, it's going on the floor. Perfect. Put our scissors back. I am going to bring in a piece of scrap paper because we are going to bring in our pieces. These are the pieces that I cut of that, that map. These are the pieces that I cut of the map. And what I want to do is I want to grunge it up a little bit. To do that, what I like to do is I am going to, if you can see this, I'm going to get some ink on my block, some early espresso blank ink on my block. This is the easiest way for me to do it. I am going to bring in a sponge dauber. If you do not have a sponge dauber, you can use a piece of sponge. You can use your blending brushes. Whatever you wish to do, I just pick it up off of my block and we're just going to go right around the edge. We just want to make it appear a little more vintage, grunged, used, not so new, right? Come the whole way around. You may get inky on this. It's okay. It's allowed. It all washes off. Let's do our second one. I'm just using the early espresso on this. You can use whatever you like, but I'm using the early espresso. Again, we're only using 1 ink pad on this, which makes it really nice if you're using this, if you're a demonstrator and you want to use this for a card class. Only utilizing 1 ink does make things a lot easier, trust me. You get too many inks going and things get a little chaotic. Before you know it, somebody's sticking the wrong thing in a stamp, in an ink pad, and you've got cross-contamination going. All right, so we have both of those done. And let's set this aside before I cause a mess, because I typically do. Now, the next thing that I want to do is we are going to bring our scissors back in. I want to rough up a couple of the corners. So I'm picking the upper left and the lower left, I think. The upper left and the lower left. And I'm just kind of folding them over. Just kind of folding them over. Just to kind of dog-ear them, so to speak. Just going to dog-ear them a little bit. Once you've broken the fibers with your scissors, then you can almost like just roll it with your thumb. If you can see that there, how I rolled it with my thumb. But it's a matter of breaking those fibers, kind of breaking those fibers in the paper first so that they'll do what you want it to do. Whoever realized that paper crafting can be so violent? Perfect. Okay. Now, let's adhere this to our, what do I do with my glue? There it is. We're going to add some glue. Maybe. We're going to add some glue. Again, bug, windshield, it's a real thing. So we're going to add some glue. We're going to stick it down on that roughed up piece of early espresso. Look at that. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's do another piece. Looks like I have that thinner, but it's not. Optical illusion. I thought one piece was thinner than the other. Okay. Oh dear heavens, I love this card so much. I made a version of this also for a swap that I did with some friends, and they loved it as well. So let's bring back in our card fronts. Again, this one, because it's tall, we needed to do our image landscape so that it fits right above, otherwise you're not going to fit it on. And then we are going to just bring him, we're going to add on our early espresso piece. Apologize if I'm coming off. That left arm just doesn't move out as far from my body as it used to. I'm sorry. If you saw it right now, though, you'd be shocked. It's all kinds of black and blue and yellow, and I had to do what they call a myofascial release on Thursday, which, ain't gonna lie, hurt like crazy, but I now have more movement in it, so doesn't look the greatest, but if it helps me move, I'll go for it. Okay, so there's our card front for this one. Let's go ahead and just finish this one off slightly. Add some dimensionals onto the back. I am not one of those people who puts 20 dimensionals on the back of my die cut. I can't. I just can't. Unless you're holding together, I always say this at my classes, unless you're holding together a Boeing 737, take it easy. Take it easy with the glue. It will adhere. It will stay. Okay, so we're going to put him right up there. All right. Let's go to our other card front. Pull this in. Now again, this one came over just a little bit further. So what we have to do is we have to move this piece over just a little bit further too, because I don't want to encroach on, you don't want to cover up your words. And that's why I, stamp the words first before I put this together. And we're just going to add that early espresso over on the left. I panicked there just slightly. I thought maybe I had adhered my, maybe I did the map upside down. Did you ever do that to yourself? Your heart jumps just a second and you're like, oh gosh, did I do it? I've done cards upside down. I've done all kinds of crazy stuff. Nothing surprises me anymore. When you get to the outside edges of your Stampin' Dimensionals, do not throw them away. Just go right around the edges. Do little cuts. And now, oops, that one was too small. I don't need that one. And now use them. Waste not, want not. I am just going to stick a little one in here. And take those off. Throw those on the side. And we are going to adhere this right about there. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our card base. And we're going to add some glue to the back of our Golden Glow. And we're going to center this onto our early espresso card base. See, totally cute, right? Okay. Okay. So we have him there. And I am going to get rid of that. Okay, so our dimensionals. Let's bring back in our dimensionals. We need to adhere our honey pots. If I can pick them up. We're going to just put dimensional backings on the back of both of those. I have no fingernails right now, my goodness. All right, so that's going to go right about there. These honey pots are so cute. They have a really cute stamp of the honey pots as well. And if you choose, you can just stamp that and then die cut that out if you want to use that, by all means, because it's adorable. So guess what I found, folks? Do you remember the bumblebee trinkets? Well, what goes with Winnie the Pooh better than bumblebees? Bumblebees, folks, bumblebees. So let me, you know what? I think I have, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Oh, I do. I have the minis. Let's use the minis. These are heavy. The bumblebee trinkets are heavy. They are going to add weight to your card. You are going to need extra postage if you use those. If you use the minis, you may not. These are the tiny bee trinkets. Can't believe I still have some of these. And these are so cute. Teeny tiny. So cute. That's perfect. Now, what are we going to use to adhere them? How about, I think a glue dot's going to be too big, but let's see. Let's grab a glue dot and let's find out. That is going to be too big. Maybe. Maybe not. Getting stuck to myself. Did you know that I'm going to take one of these glue dots and I'm going to cut it in half? Did you know that you can cut your glue dots in half? And that half ended up sticking to my scissors, so I'll just take it right off of there. All right, let's add another one up here. Perfect. Oh my goodness. I love Pooh Bear. He's adorable. And let's do another one here. I'll never forget when my little one was about 3 years old. He had a tiger costume for Halloween. I'm going to cut this one in half as well. And we only took him, he was little, so we only took him to a couple of houses. But he learned the song. You know, the song, the wonderful thing about tigers are wonderful things. Tops are made out of rubber, their bottoms are made out of springs. Yeah, that song. And he was absolutely adorable singing his song as he went door to door for Halloween. It was so cute, so adorable. And now he's so much older and I'm so much older and I do not know where the time went. But we have the memories and I can't wait to use this suite to update his scrapbook because I know that I have pictures of him in that costume. It's stuck to my scissors, so I'm just taking it right off of the scissors. Here we go. Our last little bee. Now for the inside, all that I did was took a piece of Very Vanilla. I like to do mine that are 5 1/4. I'm sorry, not 5 1/4. I'm sorry, they're 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. I think that's what I did on this one. Let me see. Yes. So 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And the reason that I do my insides that size is because I can then get 5 out of one sheet of paper instead of just 4. So it really comes down to being thrifty and resourceful. I go through a lot of card insides. I make a lot of cards. I have a lot of classes. So that is what I do. I hope you love these cards. Let's do the inside real quick. And the choice is yours for the inside as to whether you would like to color these. You can very easily just take your Stampin' Blends and color the insides of those if you would like, or you can just let them the way they are and add maybe just a little bit of, remember, grounding, right? Maybe just add a little bit of shadow to ground it. Do not overthink this. I think I'm saying that more to myself than I am to you. When it comes time to doing that, I'm like, don't overthink it, just do it, let it go. So let me show you one that I colored so that you can see what that looked like. I put the bees above it, and I'll do that on this as well. And then I just colored these. I used the Balmy Blue, I used the Golden Glow, I used Real Red, I used a little Granny Apple Green. I apologize, that's Old Olive. But I just used some colors and just colored those a little bit. And I'll put that back. And then we're just going to add the bees, wherever my bees went. So I appreciate you sticking this out with me today. I know this was not a 5-minute card, but I promise you it is so worth it. It's adorable. Your friends and family are going to love it. And like there's so many different sayings in that stamp set. The sweet words, it's just, there's so many different sayings that are just absolutely adorable. You're going to love it. You could step this up just a little bit more if you wanted to take some ink, like the new in colors, the Barely Blush. Let me find it here. This one, the Barely Blush. I didn't even open it up yet. The Barely Blush, you could take that little bit of that ink and you can color Piglet and then take a little bit of the Golden Glow and add some color to Pooh if you want to. But I chose to go with just the more simplistic look of this. I absolutely hope that you love this suite. I am going to cherish it for years to come, even once it's retired. I don't care. It's not going anywhere. I'm keeping it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. It is cardsendbyjen@yahoo.com. Feel free to follow me on Facebook. I have a business page, Cards Zen by Jen, where I sell my products, like my cards and my other decor items. I also have a group, Stamping with Cards Zen by Jen. And if you're interested in making cards, getting more tutorials, making sure that you stay up on the latest specials and such with Stampin' Up, please reach out to me. Ask to join that group. I will let you in, I promise. And I would love to see what you create with this. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. And other than that, enjoy the rest of the beautiful day. Happy stamping.